Good morning. If you stepped outside today and felt a sharp chill in the air, you weren't alone. Across the region, folks woke up to a morning that felt more like January than November, with a crispness that seemed to catch everyone by surprise. Let's talk about the wild weather ride we've had lately. Just a few days ago, many of us were enjoying mild afternoons and gentle breezes. But overnight, the weather flipped the script, delivering a dramatic plunge in temperatures and a sky full of swirling, fast-moving clouds. This morning, much of the southeast woke up to historic cold. Record lows shattered across dozens of locations. Lawns sparkled with frost and people bundled up in layers, scraping ice from windshields. A rare sight for this part of the country. In Florida, a state famous for warmth and sunshine, about 40 cities set new records for November 12th. Palm trees dusted with frost and chilly breezes made it feel like a different world for Floridians used to balmy mornings. Tallahassee dropped to 25 degrees, and Huntsville, Alabama, hit 20. These are temperatures more typical of the heart of winter, not the early days of November. For many, it was the coldest morning they could remember in years. Even Central Florida felt the freeze, with Orlando dipping into the mid-30s, a rarity not seen since 1910. Frost clung to orange groves and lawns, and the usual morning joggers traded shorts for sweatpants and gloves. Orlando's high today may only reach 54, possibly setting a new record for the coldest high on this date. People who usually enjoy coffee outdoors huddled inside. And the city's fountains steamed in the chilly air. This early taste of winter was triggered by a massive low-pressure system over the northeast, pulling Arctic air deep into the country. The jet stream dipped far south, opening the door for frigid winds to sweep across the landscape. From the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast, millions bundled up against the chill. Families dug out winter coats, scarves, and hats, and even pets seemed surprised by the sudden, cold snap. But don't get too comfortable. Big changes are coming. The weather, as always, refuses to stay the same for long. The cold snap is about to end, and a dramatic warm-up is on the way for most of the nation. Sunshine will return, and temperatures will rebound quickly, reminding us just how unpredictable this season can be. Weather whiplash is real. Get ready to swap your winter gear for lighter layers. One day you're bundled up, the next, you're reaching for sunglasses and t-shirts. This is a classic reminder. Mother Nature always keeps us guessing. Just when you think you've figured out the forecast, she throws a curveball. So, as we brace for the next shift, remember how quickly things can change. It's a good time to check your weather app, plan ahead, and be ready for anything. Stay tuned. Your weekend forecast is about to look very different. Whether you're planning a picnic or a cozy day indoors, the weather will play a big role in your plans. Let's see what's next on this weather roller coaster. No matter what comes, we'll be here to help you make sense of it all. So keep your jackets handy, but don't put away those sunglasses just yet. Are you feeling worn out by the relentless cold? If you've been bundling up in layers, bracing against icy winds and counting down the days until you can finally put away your heavy coat, you're not alone. Across the region, people are shivering through frosty mornings and chilly afternoons, wondering when winter will finally loosen its grip. But there's some exciting news on the horizon. A major pattern flip is about to shake things up. The atmosphere is setting the stage for a dramatic change, and it's coming sooner than you might expect. The stubborn Arctic air mass that's been dominating our weather is finally retreating. In its place, a surge of much warmer air is preparing to sweep across the country, melting away the last traces of winter and bringing a welcome taste of spring. This isn't just a gentle warm-up. We're talking about a dramatic swing in temperatures, so much so that it'll feel like we've skipped ahead a whole season. By the weekend, you might be reaching for sunglasses and short sleeves instead of scarves and gloves. Of course, the cold will hang on a bit longer along the East Coast. Those frosty mornings and brisk winds aren't quite done yet. But don't worry. Relief is on the way, and it's coming fast. What's driving this big change? A powerful high-pressure ridge is building over the Gulf of Mexico, and it's set to expand northward. This system will push out the cold, ushering in not just warmth, but also drier, sunnier weather for much of the country. By Thursday and Friday, the Midwest, Great Plains, and Southeast will experience the most dramatic temperature rebounds. Expect to see parks and city streets fill with people eager to soak up the sunshine after weeks of gray skies and freezing temperatures. In fact, some areas could see temperatures soaring 20 to 30 degrees above average. After enduring record cold, we're now on track for near-record warmth, a true meteorological roller coaster. It's the definition of weather whiplash. One day you're bundled up in heavy coats, the next you're reaching for short sleeves and sunglasses. The rapid shift will have everyone talking. The atmosphere is incredibly dynamic, and this week is a perfect reminder to always expect the unexpected. Sudden changes can catch even seasoned locals off guard, so keep an eye on the forecast. So, what's behind this big flip, and how will it play out in your area? Let's break down the science and timing behind this remarkable weather turnaround. What's behind this dramatic flip? It's all about the jet stream. The jet stream acts as a barrier between cold northern air and warm southern air. Earlier this week, a deep trough in the jet stream let Arctic air flood south, causing those record lows. Now the trough is lifting out, and the jet stream is flattening and bulging northward. A ridge is forming. This ridge lets warm tropical air surge north, replacing the cold. The jet stream is redrawing the weather map warmth for the plains, Midwest, and Southeast, while the West Coast gets cooler. It's a fascinating atmospheric dance. One shift changes everything. Watch how the jet stream's moves set the stage for our next weather chapter. Let's see who gets to enjoy the warmth first. Who's first in line for the warm-up? The Great Plains. By Friday, Nebraska and South Dakota could see temps soar into the 70s, remarkable for November. The warmth spreads east for the weekend, melting recent snow in the Midwest and Great Lakes. Chicago and nearby areas may hit the 60s or low 70s, erasing the early winter chill. The Southeast rebounds too, with highs returning to or above average. From the Gulf Coast to the Ohio Valley, millions will enjoy a spring-like weekend, but not everyone gets the heat. The West Coast and parts of the Northeast stay cooler thanks to the jet stream's new pattern. It's a tale of two coasts, with the interior basking in sunshine. While the heartland warms, the West Coast faces a major storm. Starting late Thursday, California, Oregon, and Washington will see heavy rain, strong winds, and mountain snow. Flooding, mudslides, and power outages are possible, especially in wildfire-burn areas. The Sierra Nevada and Cascades get their first big snow, great for ski resorts, tough for travelers. This storm is fueled by the same jet stream pattern bringing warmth east. The ridge over the central U.S. forces a trough over the west, guiding storms ashore. It's a reminder, weather is connected coast to coast. West Coast viewers, stay alert and check local forecasts. As we turn our attention back to the weather, the action shifts once again. A new storm system is taking shape, brewing over the rugged Rockies and stretching into the arid southwest as we head into Sunday. This developing system is poised to bring another round of active weather to the heart of the country, just as many are still recovering from the last bout of storms. Warm, moisture-laden air from the Gulf of Mexico surges northward, colliding with the cooler, drier air associated with this new system. This clash of air masses is a classic recipe for unsettled weather, and it sets the stage for thunderstorms to erupt, some of which could turn severe. As Sunday night falls, the central and southern plains will be under the gun for a low-end severe threat. While not everyone will see dangerous storms, those in the path should be prepared for rapidly changing conditions. Gusty winds could whip through open areas, and pockets of hail may develop, especially where storms intensify quickly. By Monday, the risk for severe weather ramps up significantly along the Mississippi Valley as the storm system gathers strength and moves eastward. Areas from Illinois all the way down to East Texas will need to stay alert as the threat zone expands and intensifies. Damaging winds, large hail, and even the possibility of tornadoes are all on the table. This is a setup that can bring quick changes and dangerous conditions. This is what meteorologists call the second severe weather season for fall, when the atmosphere can become volatile as summer warmth clashes with incoming autumn chill. If you live in the risk zone, make sure you have a reliable way to receive weather alerts, whether it's a weather app, a NOAA radio, or local news notifications, so you can act quickly if warnings are issued. By Tuesday, the storm system continues its march eastward, gradually losing some of its punch but still capable of producing hazardous weather. The threat will weaken for the southeast, but some areas could still see strong storms as the system moves through. From North Carolina down to Alabama, isolated strong storms are possible, especially in areas where the atmosphere remains unstable. The exact track and intensity of this system are still uncertain, so it's important to stay tuned to the latest forecasts and updates as the situation evolves. Even as the recent cold snap retreats, remember that new hazards can develop quickly, so don't let your guard down just yet. Up next, we'll check in on the Northeast, where autumn's changing weather brings its own set of challenges. The Northeast has its own weather drama this weekend. Before the warm-up, a weak system may bring light snow or flurries to New York and New England. Just a reminder, winter's near. The bigger story: a more complex storm arrives Sunday into Monday. Depending on its track, interior areas could see a messy mix: snow, freezing rain, then rain as warmer air moves in. Freezing rain is especially hazardous, so stay alert if you're inland or at higher elevations. Most major cities will likely just see rain, but forecasts could change quickly. Keep an eye on updates as the weekend approaches. With Thanksgiving coming, travel is top of mind, and so is the weather. The forecast calls for an active pattern through the holiday week, with at least one storm likely to cross the country. That means possible rain, snow, or wind delays, so build flexibility into your plans. Drivers, check your route and pack an emergency kit. Flyers, expect delays, especially at major hubs if storms hit. Stay informed, check with your airline, and have a backup plan. Another cold shot could arrive around Thanksgiving, possibly bringing more wintry weather. We'll keep tracking it. Stay tuned as you finalize your plans. Looking further ahead, this early Arctic blast could preview a colder winter ahead. Long-range models suggest a shift from recent mild winters. This year may bring more frequent, deeper cold snaps. It won't be cold everywhere, all the time, but the overall trend looks chillier. Now's the time to prep. Check insulation, seal drafts, and service your heating system. Find your winter gear before the next cold snap hits. This week's weather proves how fast things can change. From record cold to spring-like warmth, storms are always on the move. Stay weather aware, use apps, radios, or tune in here for updates. Enjoy the warmth while it lasts, and be ready for whatever comes next. That's the national outlook. Now, here's what's happening in your area.